So I recently pondered upon the idea of gender expression not only being a biological reaction, but also being a societal rebellion. And today we're talking about gender expression as a biological and societal rebellion. Now, obviously, as a biology student, yes, we understand that there are many biological factors that affect sex, gender, and sexuality, right? These from hormones to the way that certain brain organs or components of the brain act and behave, and a lot of these are congenital and do not change throughout someone's life. We have an understanding of that, but we also have an understanding of how society and community conditions people to act in certain ways, right? Someone can be straight and still act feminine due to environmental factors. Someone can be gay and act really hypermasculine due to environmental factors. That's why we have these demonic DLs on that demonic yellow app terrorizing the bottoms of South Africa. But otherwise than that, what I mean is there are a lot of environmental factors that influence you outside of your biology to act in certain ways, right? Now, the reason into why I wanted to talk about gender expression as a societal rebellion is because I've noticed that a lot of queer people, right, often are very political and they're often very leftist, right, when I talk to queer intellectuals. And the reason being is because a lot of the systems that exist today have actually actively contributed to their pain and oppression, to their incarcerations and murders throughout history, right? From the Christian church to the patriarchy to many different facets of societies that have constantly targeted LGBTQ individuals, right? Now, this conversation actually stems from another conversation that I had with one of my straight friends, right? Who's an amazing intellectual and who's a leftist, but actually had thought or preconceived that trans people exist because they exist as people that want to defy societal standards rather than a biological reaction, and how he didn't understand why they felt the need to change their biology in order to combat societal expectations. But then I had to explain to him that, hey, there are a lot of biological factors that contribute to someone feeling transness and experiencing transness and gender dysphoria, right? There is a lot of chemistry and biology involved within queerness, right? And why queer people are extremely unique. But I also ponder on the fact that trans people exist societally as outcasts, and therefore when they exist within this world, it poses a threat to the existing systems that may be. That's why they've been targeted a lot, especially with the right-wing propaganda. Now, one of the reasons into why a lot of queer people wear makeup and eyeliner, and why I even wore it today and in the previous video that I filmed, is not simply because of expression or that I like it or I think I look pretty, in which I do, but it's also because of, like, it's kind of like a big FU to societal expectations and what they expect a man, especially a black dark-skinned man, to appear as, right? You wouldn't probably expect this in rural societies or in society in general. And as it's getting normalized, and it's not getting normalized because the systems are somehow changing, it's getting normalized because queer people are getting frustrated and irritated with the fact that they have been oppressed for so long. The upliftment of queer people is the upliftment of all people, because queer people exist within all people. Queer people exist within Indian, black, white people. Queerness exists within women and men. Queerness exists everywhere, because queerness is inherently unique to the person that is born with it. So their expression in society is at a very unique position in the intersectionality spectrum, and therefore their existence has to be something that's eye-catching, that is a form of rebellion, but also can prove that something that you never thought could be conceived before or could exist within a particular human being can be extremely beautiful, juxtaposed to the propaganda that you're given that gay people and trans people are pedophiles and they are uneducated and they're demonic. And then you meet a trans or queer person and you realize that, hey, this person's actually really nice, this person's actually really smart, and this person's extremely beautiful to my eyes. So yeah, that is kind of like the consensus, or not the consensus, but that's kind of like the conclusion of my video. And follow and like for more.